Hello everyone, welcome back to War in the Pacific Admiral Edition. This is Friedrich with my PBM, play by email, versus TF1377, and we are on the March 20th, the resolution for March 19, and we have some anti-submarine action here around Pearl. Okay. Well, or lack of action. Let's see what else we're going to have today. And more, all right, the Reliance finally decides to take some shots, see if they can get anywhere. Guess not. Oh, I didn't see the one hit. It looked like it was, anyway, good to see. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, naval reaction phase. We're hoping for a quiet turn because we don't have any action on our end. Okay, so now the I-3 is being... Oh, we actually taken on water, damaged the I-3. It'd be nice if the reason it can't find the sub is because it's sunk, but I doubt that's the case. But anyway, one hit. We'll see what happens there. It said it was taken on water, so that I don't know if that just means flotation damage or what. Okay, shot down a Jake, supposedly, anyway. It's unconfirmed. Alright, Dongala. I'll have to see what that's all about. So we're bombing Japanese submarines around Pearl. Oh. Okay, so our PT boats here in Banjarmassen, however you pronounce that, they're being attacked, although, yeah, they're pretty nimble and small, so that's... we actually damaged 2 Nels with our anti-aircraft. That's pretty cool. Okay, some Lilies bombing those troops that are sitting out here. No effect. Okay, and he's coming in again with some with the Nate escort, so no losses. Okay. Yeah, I just saw we're reconning there over the troops east of the river in Burma. All right, so I'm seeing some spotting at Port Blair. Is it Port Blair? Yeah, we're supposedly some hits here on the submarines. But yeah, I'm seeing he's scouting my Port Blair, so I'm wondering what he's got over there. All right, these PT boats are attracting a lot of aircraft. It's going to be hard for these torpedoes to hit. Damaged a couple more. These torpedoes, they're flying really low and dropping them, but these are tiny boats, so if they got hit, though, those torpedoes would just probably obliterate them. Alright, so he's bombing Malay yet again. So just some runway hits, but that's of no effect to us because at this stage, we're not able to do anything anyway. All right. So that was that for air phase. All right, Japanese are bombarding us. They've got 2 full divisions here. Yikes. So let's see how this goes. All right, counter battery fire damaged him a bit. All right, now he's settled in for bombardment again, so we can recover from that. All right, I knew this was coming, or, well, I guessed last turn this was going to happen this turn. So here we go. Okay, so they didn't take it, which is a shocker to me. But they did reduce the fort to 1, even before the odds were calculated, so 1 to 1. I don't think it would have been any better, but who knows. We did do damage to their units, but again, they're the ones favored for the long haul. All right, Hilo. Some of these expansions, Hilo looks nice, and we're about to reinforce that, so that's nice. Alright, I guess we're wrapping up this turn. So we can take a look at the map here in a second after action report. Okay, be right back. Alright, I wanted to take a look at these battleships. I saw some flotation damage issue. I think here's my hunch. I think they're fine, right? I just think what happened was, and by the way, it moved 3 hexes this turn. I think I'm going to break this Tennessee off. It's kind of, I think it's slowing the whole task force down. But what I was going to point out is, I think what happens is this 36 damage or 30, I don't know which of these ships it was trying to repair, but it was trying to do little repairs and it was failing. I don't know if it means it's adding more damage. I don't think it's done that. So I think it's just failed in repairing down from 36 or 31 or 33, whichever one that is. I think we'll be okay, but we'll keep an eye on it. If we need to head back to Pearl, we can. But I'm gonna go ahead and break this off, and we're gonna take this KV with us, and yeah, have it keep going to Seattle, of course. But and I am not going to mess with the routing. I think it's okay now. This one has a different routing, but it's still 59. I don't think it'll affect anything. Honestly, I'm not sure that he has any subs out here. So I guess we'll find out, and I hope he doesn't, but honestly, his subs have been patrolling Pearl for so long, I don't know that they'd be anywhere else. So this is going to move much faster and get there in, probably 12 days, I'm going to guess, 12, give or take. This other one is okay. This other one's going to take a bit longer. And I'm going to set this to cruise because there's no reason to chance it with the mission speed. Now this is cargo ships that dumped off something, and I'm not 100% sure what right off. Supplies. I loaded it up, brought over a bunch of supplies, and I am going to think I'm going to send these guys back to Pearl, and so we'll just keep our ASW at Pearl, and as we come and go, we can feed this ASW into the groups, I think. Come on. So we only have 4 destroyers here. By the way, this I neglected this completely last turn. Meant to disband it into port and look at the repair situation. But in any case, I also want to offload the aircraft and let them get some more training and stuff, because it doesn't hurt to keep them exercising. So for now, and that'll replenish. We'll be getting a lot of destroyers from that. So maybe we're okay. I mean, it's not like these are the long-range destroyers anyways. I'm thinking in advance for service to the South Pacific. So I'm going to just go ahead and take them back to Pearl. Because they're short-range destroyers, and there's no reason for them to be going, back and forth here. Not yet, anyway. So here we go. Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and look at that, take care of that, but also looking at my battleships here. For now, I'm going to disband this, and I'll move the aircraft off later. I just don't want to forget that again. Let's see. Sub patrol. Okay. So the Silver Sides came back to replenish, and now they're heading back out. And I guess they're covering Midway. So, so nice. Go Silver Sides. So, and what's our situation here? Okay, so we are loading more. I mean, this jumped up from 3,000 something, which I don't know what happened there. It kind of got wonky as I was looking at some things. Probably my fault here, but we're getting almost everything. Now we just got to get this motorized support off, and let's see. Let's take a look here. So we have cargo capacity. Yeah, we're not using up our cargo capacity, so we should be able to get this motorized support off as well. I'm not worried about it. I think we're going to be fine. I'm not going to change anything. In fact, let's look at this. You're using 1,000 and we only have 602 supplies. So I think we're even putting some of the troops here. Yeah, we've got equipment anyways. So I think we're going to be okay. Just keep loading up and filling this up. Maybe one more turn. Adjust. And yeah, I want to do troops only for a couple of reasons, but one, it will help. They'll load up and get out of here before sitting around waiting for the supplies to fill out as well. Now, looking at this, it looks like there's still over 3,000 to load, and so that's still a couple more turns. It's kind of a pain, but it is what it is. This is offloading anyway, and then we'll start loading up the 160th Regiment and get it on its way as well. But also, there's no rush because we're trying to get the troops, the garrison out to Midway in the meantime. So yeah, we should be two turns. Yep, 2 turns away. Uh-oh. This just flipped to 3 turns, and it's going to SF, so something's slowing that one down. I'm going to have to look at the composition of this task force. I'm sure it's not ideal, but I'm going to look at the composition of this task force and determine if I need to do something. I mean, technically, on the surface, it looks like we're fine with the ships we have. Okay, I think I know what it is already. It's Salt Lake City. It might be slowing us down, and in maybe the rally, yeah. So anything that's 14, that's what it is. It's just slow enough to keep us from going consistently 9 hexes. So that's good to know, but annoying I didn't think about that sooner. That's on me, but fortunately I learned just now, and I'll take all that into account. I'm also going to bring these 3 heavy cruisers, get everything reorganized, try to max out my carrier task forces in the best way that makes sense uh, for future missions. Um, and we have, let's see, we have this field artillery battalion that next turn will be in that hex, and they can be used for bombardment or counter battery as well. And I might just go ahead and bombard as well. Give him a dose of the same medicine. We've got some artillery, not much in these regiments as they are. Just some mortars. We do have some howitzers here, I guess. Uh, but we have also this medium regiment, which consists of some 4.5 inch field guns. That's going to be kind of cool to see going off, and this 5.5 artillery gun. So that's let's see if we want to have an artillery duel here, right? Um, we don't have a lot in our tanks, just some mortar. I don't think these 75 millimeter half tracks fire. I think that's only if you do a deliberate attack, because yeah, I've kind of discovered that. But I'm going to go ahead and let the 81 millimeter mortars fire. And then we'll see how they do, and I'm not going to stress too much about it, and at the same token, I don't want to stress the guns out either. But yeah, if he does an attack here, if he thinks about doing an attack here, it's gonna. He has a lot of AV, but these tanks are gonna do some damage. I would imagine. But um, anyway, we are building up the fortification still. I did turn the airfield on again, and here's why. If this is one level of air, I can have some fighters covering cap only here, and that'll make it more efficient than flying a 1 hex cap and wearing out my pilots. Now he hasn't threatened with bombers, but certainly being able to cap something is always. I appreciate the idea. So let's go back. I want to make sure, did I talk about everything I needed to here? Well, I talked about the carriers heading back. I talked a little bit about this guy's going to Midway. These guys are going to Hilo as reinforcements. Again, I just don't know what his plan is. Let's see. These guys are returning to Los Angeles from parts unknown, and yeah, possibly the South Pacific, but tankers to Midway. I guess I did decide to send some fuel there. Then this is some fuel to Pearl Harbor. I like to keep that up. There's no reason not to keep the fuel up. Over 1 million doesn't even hurt, but anyway. So we got aircraft. This is going to Pago Pago because I can island hop after that. I'm not sure if that's ideal because you can take ops damage by doing that, but at the same time, I also don't want to risk my ships getting beat up from carriers or something. So here's what I might do. Let's say do not unload, remain on station. When I get to Pago Pago, maybe by then I'll know where KB is and decide what to do with that. Now this is resources. I like to keep resources here because it does have heavy and light industry, but not enough resources for it. And why not why not operate at optimal efficiency, getting these supplies, making our own supplies here? Sure, we can bring ships with supplies, but if we're going to bring ships with supplies anyways, might as well bring also some resources, make our own supplies, and just make that a little bit more efficient. And then, of course, here's tankers with fuel as well. So we've got between the two, no, that's supply, and that's our resources. And this is fuel. So 15 plus 50. So we got about 60, over 65K fuel coming in. I like to keep that a consistent flow. It, we could let this go down, but there's no reason to. Might as well keep it topped off. If that's even a thing. Let's look. There is no limitations here, so we could literally pour however much we want into this. That reminds me. Where am I? Okay, I think. Okay, I wanted to look at. Well, Hilo is just right now. We're just unloading supplies here because I figure, hey, I'm about to start dumping troops here. It might be a good idea to get some supplies here. So let's dock this also. Help it empty a little bit faster. No rush, but still, might as well get these supplies flowing in here because we're gonna need them once we bring the troops ashore. And then I'll basically probably keep an auto convoy, maybe even. Speaking of which, I did have once upon a time an auto convoy of resources from Hilo, but it's just not very much. It's not worth having a ship doing right now anyway. Maybe someday. And then down here at Pago Pago, I wanted to look at something here real quick. So the supply limit is 152,000. If we did have these fighters come into here, we're looking at another 70 plus thousand supply that's coming with the planes. I say fighters, it might include bombers, or it might be bombers. Anyway, they would unload the supplies here and it still wouldn't meet the limit, which is a good thing. Because I say that because I may still unload it here and then hop from Suva across to Noumea or Luganville or all the way to Brisbane or somewhere else in Australia. So I have not completely determined. So when that convoy gets here, I'll make my decision by then whether to just unload it or bring it here or maybe all the way to Sydney. Because, it wouldn't hurt to unload closer to the destination so I'm not losing planes to ops. I mean, that is my factories aren't optimized yet to take a lot of losses. Plus, who wants to lose pilots as well? That said, we do have some. Okay, so this guy, let's look. This guy is loaded up with resources, and he's going to go to Sydney. And I might say return same route, and also go ahead and full refuel when you get there. So yeah. So I'm going to keep this guy on resource convoy duty. So we did get these cargo ships in, and let's see, what am I thinking of? No, this is the one with troops. I have some coastal artillery here, and he's going to go right over this sub. So to keep that from happening, let's go up. And he wants to go up and then down. So let's say, nope, let's go this all the way down here and see what happens. Okay, we're just going to go right on in from there. We will remain on station, and there's no need to worry about returning because I'm going to set up a new waypoint system. In fact, I'm going to say that for now. All right. Also, with this cargo, oh, keep picking the wrong thing. All right, so with this car, okay, we only have the single destroyer escorting it. So that's fine. I'm gonna just keep that. If it's gonna go over this, and we'll just see what happens. Maybe the Vit de Vit can take some shots at anti-submarine shots. These are all AKLs. Even the biggest ones are worth 2. So we'll get a feel for what his submarine is willing to do. And we do have ASW here, and also aircraft, I believe, flying. So yeah. So really, I was hoping they'd be bombing that. Speaking of which, am I done down here? Okay, so we looked at that. We got our aircraft flying, I believe, recon right here, and that's going to be good. So now that the recon is high, and we looked at that, let's just take a look at Kumak and see what's going on there. Get a feel for what his aircraft situation is and whatnot. All right, and then yeah, we're getting there. It's possible. Nope, I think it's going to be 2 more turns. This will flip to airfield capacity of 5, and I would like to have some bombers ready to do something with that. This should be repaired in 1 turn, and I can bring in some more B-17s to this base. And when it's time to pull the trigger, we're going to recon. So for a couple turns, well, recon. Let me think. Maybe I'll recon Kumak, bring in bombers to prepare for our bombing run on Kumak, and that'll take a turn of prep, and then recon this while I'm doing that, and then recon that again. That might be what I'll do. Anyway, I don't know if that made any sense, but this turn Kumak, next turn Lafoy again, and then the following turn Kumak, as well as bombing it with our heavy bombers. Speaking of, well, he's got something here, and Townsville is now it is level 5, so we can get all these bombers on airfield attack and Una, and we can set them all. Okay, and that will get these ones in because 15 range will be normal now, so that's going to be nice. Okay, so now B-17, the D's will bomb the airfield and the E's will bomb the port. So and they're barely at normal radius, so that'll be good. Okay, so that's going to be the B-17Es. So we got airfield and port. Okay, then to make things really interesting, and he's got high detection here, we're going to say let's sweep. And I could cap, but then that's more like an escort. So we're going to sweep and hold our breath. Okay. So aircraft data. I don't want to do this. And maybe it's okay because we're diving down into this region, but I'm just going to start here and we'll go from there and see what happens. It's possible if he's flying cap higher, we'll be climbing instead, but this will be, if nothing else, an experiment. And they have high fatigue already, but I feel like this is the thing to do. We'll sweep here, hopefully before the B-17s come. But in the meantime, one other thing I wanted to look at. So We have 16 plus, I believe, 5. Well, I don't know if it counts this, right? So 21 or is it 28? Okay. So aviation support is really high anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to bring over this squadron, okay? Because I feel like this is going to be very helpful in holding the line there at, uh, let's do drop tanks and Fort Moresby 14. Okay, I have to use drop tanks. Fort Moresby. So we got 48, but not all of them. A lot of them are seaplanes, so that doesn't count against this. So 62 minus 25 is 37, and I don't think we have 37 regular aircraft there, so we're going to go in. Okay, we lost one due to ops. Fortunately, didn't lose a pilot. Um, I might slide another aircraft from the pool here and get that reinforced just to um, maximize. And right now I'm going to cap 100 right over Port Moresby, and we'll see how that, and maybe, because I don't know what he's going to do. He did recon this, and he saw that we had some, who knows what he knows, but I'm not real happy about him seeing this stuff. And if he decides, ooh, that looks weakly defended, I'm going to bomb it, then we'll have these P400s here. So that'll be nice. I just hope this fatigue doesn't do too much, have too much of an effect for them. Let's look at this. Some of them are really high, like 29. So I'm wondering if I should drop this back. I might drop it back to 70 and let the really tired ones stay. Hopefully the game models that, and hopefully it keeps the, let's see, look at this, 36. See all these? Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, that's high fatigue. So we'll just go with 50. It doesn't seem good. I'll just do 60, and we'll have about 12 or 14 planes flying here defending that. So, all right. And then we'll reevaluate that next turn. And if he doesn't bomb, then hey, all the better. So I feel okay about what I'm doing this area. It may or may not have any effect. It may just be kind of a whiff, but it's might be interesting too. Um, so okay, Surabaya. We flew these. I believe they're A20s, the Dutch version. But anyways, we flew these out ASW patrol. This time full 7 range. Now we only have 3 of them. Maybe that's why we didn't have much effect. But now we have 16 to spread out. I kind of want to upgrade some of these other groups because why not? So they have some B-25Cs now. I'll have to look at the Dutch options because I think we can get some nice bomber aircraft in here. So I'll certainly be looking for where we can get some stuff and pick what I feel like is the best spot to take advantage of the better aircraft. But anyway, I can do this off, you know, offline as it were. But anyway, it's got some tankers moving southwest, so they got through our net somehow. But we'll just keep patrolling, and maybe we'll bag one soon in the near future. But also, see, he doesn't even know we're here. So it's not like he's sneaking through knowingly. Okay, so he flew spotting over Pegu, and he's been doing this, I think, daily. And I think that's okay. We don't have much here. I don't know what he sees of our ground units. Maybe he sees the size of our army. Maybe he sees we have 16,000 troops. Maybe he sees we have some aircraft, because 9 out of 10 is pretty high. But anyways, we also see what he's got, and he's got roughly the same number of troops. Now, he will have to cross a river, and we do have fortification levels of 3, and we're working on a 4th. If he starts bombing here, all right, you know what? With recon here and here, I'm going to start bringing some more fighters into this hex, because I want to fly cap with more than 10 planes. So I feel like 10 is not terrible, but he's building up Chiang Mai. This is already has enough capacity for his medium bombers. Um, and of course, there's Bangkok, which he could easily reach. So I feel like he could bomb this anytime. And 10 fighters, if he brings escort or sweeps, 10 fighters will get shot down quickly. So I think I'm going to start bringing some of these aircraft together. What do we got here? We've got room for 7 more aircraft here, but that's not really anything. So I don't have anything that small. Of course, I could break up another squadron just to squeeze in some more fighters, and who knows, maybe that's the thing to do. But we're still building fortifications here. He didn't damage them, and we're still able to keep pumping out. But I mean, it's slow going because we don't have a lot of engineers. He did get some bombardment off here because he decided not. Okay, that reminds me. We got attacked here, and I don't see how this is going to hold. But I also didn't think I was going to hold last turn's fight either. And I forgot to check this out, by the way. So taking a look here, we lost 3 aircraft due to operational losses, which I think one of them was to just now, this P400. So that I'm going to say that doesn't count. This Dragon we lost, probably flying supplies next to Port Moresby. And I have no idea where this aircraft was lost, this 139 WH3, which is another reason why upgrading is probably the thing to do, because these aircraft are possibly old and decrepit. So let's take a look. So service rating 2, but what's the one I want to look at? Is there a durability? I wonder if it's this number here. If that's like the service rating is, I think, how quickly it can get back out to flying, or in flying condition. But the 32 may have to do with how easy it is to shoot down, but it may also have to do with how durable it is flying from base to base. I'm actually not certain at all. That's a pure guess. But if I were to look versus this aircraft, for example, this is 35, which is one more. So it's not like that epic. It's just a bump of 1. But then if we go, okay, so let's Let's upgrade, but not really. Let's take a look. Okay, 42. So this will be better in combat, if not also just flying in any other conditions. I don't know. Certainly something I will. It's possible that the aircraft that we lost is somewhere over here, where we have some. It may even be right here. No, we have 9 of 9. Anyway, it could be. What I was gonna say is I was wondering if it was out here flying these patrol and naval attack missions. Right now we've got this bomber group flying for low naval attack because no low naval training because I thought maybe coming in low and bombing with these bombers might be a thing that can work. But I really have no idea what I'm doing here. So, but it would be cool to see if it does. Anyway, we're training for now until we start seeing some ships on the horizon. I think we're just going to train. And it's possible I'll start doing that with some of these others. Um, I just I don't know if I want to use up all my B-25 in one or too quickly, and then there's none to replace losses and things like that. I don't know. I'll it's something I'm for sure gonna look at, but again, I'll look at offline. So there we have it. It's a turn, relatively quiet. He's shifting, here and there. He's not even hitting us here. That's fine. I'm not even gonna shell him. It's not like I just have artillery sitting here with with nothing else to do. So, so I think it's not a stalemate for sure, but we're just kind of eyeballing each other. Apparently, he's not in a hurry. I mean, he doesn't have immediate intentions anyway, is what I should say. So yeah, this I just noticed this little cargo task force was bringing in supplies because I don't know that we're making any anymore in this area. So what I'm going to do is just try to bring supplies when I can to Padang and try to keep these troops healthy if we can before he starts. And maybe I'll start dropping supplies here next time. Well, the port capacity is 1, whereas here it's 1. So it's not that great. This is more dangerous because he could have aircraft here. Of course, this is dangerous because he could have aircraft here, which I know he does. We just don't see it here. Okay, so yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. We're already well over 40 minutes, and I have been rambling about various random things. One of these days, I'd like to show what I do to set up a turn, which is more than just running around the map rambling for sure. So maybe I'll take a look at that soon and post that video as well. It may or may not be a proper way to look at the thing, but that's how I do it. Obviously, people will have their own way of reviewing what needs to be done, and I would say for sure what works for each person should be what each person does. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that another time. So, in the meantime, take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, and we will meet again soon to talk about the March 20 resolution. Take care.